Happy St. Patrick's Day. I've got a quick one for you. So you know how there's not a lot of St. Patrick's Day games out there? I decided to make one. So this is Shamrock Search. It's kind of like Minesweeper, except for instead of just the bad things, you're looking for good things too. So for example, if you see a negative number, that means it's by a bad thing. But if you see a positive number, that means it's by good things. So there must be at least 2 Shamrocks touching this. But here's the thing. If there's a leprechaun touching something, it goes negative, right? So it could be that there's 3 Shamrocks touching this and 1 leprechaun. So if you dig through here, we're looking through all the Shamrocks, right? Here it gets kind of negative, so I'm kind of in the danger zone over here, but let's stay over here where it's positive. We'll just kind of click through here. That means that there's 2 touching it, right? Because there's no leprechauns nearby. But this one, it said that there was 1 touching it, right? Well, there's 2 Shamrocks touching it, but then there was 1 leprechaun touching it, and so that's a total of 1 positive. So you're adding positive numbers and taking away the negative numbers for a total of this number, right? So it just means that of all the squares touching this square, it has 1 more Shamrock than leprechaun. So if you see 0, that means it has the same number of Shamrocks and leprechauns touching it, like this one right here, right? Whereas if you see blank, that means that there's literally nothing touching it. So let's play again. Again, I'm going to keep it on medium. So this one, I was just going to show you, since we're near the negatives, clicking on that isn't great. And I try to always open up a couple here in the middle so that you have a goal. Now, if you click right here on an empty one, it'll just open up all the ones that are next to the empty one because you know that there can't be anything there. But now we're through all of that. Okay, so this one we know has to be a leprechaun, which means this one can't be a leprechaun because this one's only touching 1 leprechaun. Whereas these guys are touching 2 leprechauns, so we know they're touching this one and then one of these 2. But this negative one right here has to be a leprechaun, so this one's safe. So that's how you can kind of dig your way around and figure out what's going on. And then you can just kind of dig through and try to test your luck and see if you can find all the Shamrocks and avoid all the leprechauns. And if you win, we'll see if I can pull out a win here. There's 1 Shamrock left, huh? You get a little ditty. All right, so if you want to try this simple little game, it's basically Minesweeper, but Minesweeper times 2 because there's both positive and negative numbers. And it's got, different difficulties you can set it to. Insane is very difficult, whereas easy, it's mostly going to be Shamrocks and there's not going to be that many leprechauns. And so you can have a much, easier time digging your way through to get your little ditty. And that way kids can play it, things like that, because it's just an easier game on easy mode. But go ahead and give this one a try. You can play it for free on my website, which is localmess.com. So if you go to localmess.com/fun, you can find these dumb little games I make, and I'll put a link in the description down below so that you can go ahead and play this one. But most of all, have a great St. Patrick's Day. Cheers.